The deep dark secret that influencers and sellers of new Topps product, they're not going to want you to hear this. Stick around. What's going on, sports card hobby family? It's another day. It's another sports card video. Thank you very much for joining me here again today. We've made it to Wednesday. It is hump day, and it already feels like it's been a long week. Today we're going to talk about 2024 Topps Chrome basketball cards in the pajamas. And we're going to break down some numbers that might be a little dissettling. Is that a word? Disheartening? That's a word. Discouraging. And I don't mean for this to be kind of Debbie Downer type talk, and I know it will come across to some that way. But for me, I'm really trying to help maybe a new dad or mom that might see this. Maybe their kid is like, you know what, I really want to get back into cards. Or you're 40-year-old and you're getting back into cards, 35-year-old, and you're trying to figure out what's what. Because it's not the same hobby as it was back in the day, and I think you'll learn that very quickly. So today we're going to kind of break down some of the pricing on the new products and what sort of value, in quotation marks, you get for that price. Gone are the days where you had Ninja Turtle packs for 59 cents. Gone are the days. Before I start, huge thanks to today's video sponsor, COMC.com. We are rolling into football season, and we've got football cards headed to COMC. They've got football, they've got basketball, baseball, non-sports entertainment cards. You can grade your cards through COMC, run it at auction on eBay, all sorts of different options there. Very easy to buy and sell cards instantly on the platform. So check out my links down below to start your COMC.com journey today. All right, we saw that the new 2023-24 Topps Chrome basketball, of course, Topps does not yet have the licenses. They have done a fairly good job kind of playing around a little bit with the jerseys and making sure there's no logos. It's not NBA licensed, this stuff. But they do have Wemby and they do have LeBron, and they've got some of the players that are signed on that can do autographs and so forth. And so looking at what do you get out of this product? What would be the big chase cards when you're looking at this? And I know a lot of people are just going to be excited for Topps Chrome basketball is back. And you can get into the whole debate about, wait, hold on a second. So Leaf was trash and Wild Card was trash, but now all of a sudden Topps is doing it and it's not trash? I will say that once you look at these cards, and I'm just my personal opinion, they're pretty underwhelming as far as the overall product goes. When I take a look, I think there's a Russell Westbrook card that shows up here on the checklist. It's through Beckett or on one of the websites, because I took a look at the checklist. And that Russell Westbrook card, I mean, I wouldn't pay up for any sort of card like that. I think even for Russell Westbrook fans, it's pretty underwhelming. I just can't imagine anyone really kind of diving in for those singles. And so then it boils down to what are the big chase cards? And if we're looking at what those are, it's of course going to be Wembanyama autograph cards. That's number one. And maybe 1A, 1B. 1B would probably be LeBron James auto cards because he is back in Topps Chrome. They're limited, so he doesn't have a zillion different autograph options as you might expect. And so these are the big chase cards. And on the checklist, it shows there's the gold refractor autos that are 1 out of 100,000 packs type thing. So those are going to be the big money cards. And I do think that those types of cards, the Wembanyama and the LeBron auto stuff, it's going to fetch big money. It's going to fetch big money. And I did hear a lot of people kind of saying, hey, you know what? I thought this suggested retail price was going to be higher. This pre-order price, it was something like $270, and it pretty much instantly sold out for hobby boxes. And I believe it came out yesterday or the day before. Instantly sold out on the website. And, people saying like, oh, maybe, hey, $270, that's not too bad, right? Well, when you actually break down the numbers, and again, I don't know how this compares to Panini. I at least give Topps credit for putting out pack odds. So you can kind of do some reverse math, reverse engineering. There's going to be people that can do this better than me for sure. And I'm sure you will see videos that come out kind of breaking down this math. But I did a little bit of math just taking a look at this. You've got 12 packs, 8 cards in a box. So you've got 96 cards in a box total with 2 autos. Okay, 2 autos, $270. That's a great deal, right? Well, if you look at it, it's about $3 a card is how it breaks down. If you look at 96 cards, it's about $300 because you're going to pay tax and you're going to pay for shipping on that $270. So it's about $300 for your hobby box. And that's just if you got the pre-order price. Once they go in the secondary market, I'm sure these are going to be $350, $400, and the breakers, they got to break it, so that price is going to move up, of course. It's about $3 a card. Now, when you look at the superfractors, the one of ones are 1 out of 581,208 hobby packs, which breaks down to about 48,434 hobby boxes, which breaks down to about approximately 4,000 cases of the product. I was trying to figure out too, like, how much are they probably making on this release? And there's so many variables to this that I don't know. And of course, marketing costs, how much does it cost to get the autographs from all the athletes? To me, the big money autographs that they probably paid out for are Wemby and LeBron. There is a lot of auto stuff in here that is just, it's going to be a lot of players, retired players or no-namers. You're going to see a lot of that. So when you see 2 autographs, I think people get excited about autograph cards, pulling autograph cards. There will be a lot of what I'm just going to call them garbage autograph cards that are probably $2, $5 autograph cards. This product will be loaded with that. Because simply said, there's the LeBron stuff, the big chase there is going to be limited, along with the Wemby stuff, purposely going to be limited so that it is the big chase. My issue with the price tag at $300 for that pre-order, I think this realistically, I think it should be half this price. And I know what you're saying, like, why would they charge $150 when it sells out at $300? And you're right. But what I'm really looking at is value back. Actually getting money back and it actually being worthwhile for a collector. Now, for the breaker and the breaker customers and all that, that's a whole different ball game. But for the average collector, $150 a box, I think, makes a little bit more sense for this particular product, just given that it's a wide release. I mean, they're printing this stuff up. So if I look at just the hobby boxes and you break down, the suggested retail price, and I know there's going to be people getting allocation and stuff, but about $13.5 million gross. And I assume they're probably going to pocket, after all the expenses, maybe they're doing allocation stuff, giveaways, somewhere between $8 and $10 million for the release. I'm guessing. I don't know what the autographs cost to get all the player autographs and that sort of thing, but I have to assume they're going to pocket somewhere between $7, $8, and $10 million for this release. There's a ton of insert sets, 17 different insert sets. It's 190 cards for the base set, and there's 30 different parallels of the base cards. So the product as a whole is going to be loads and loads of course, base cards, parallels of the base cards, and then you've got this 17 different insert cards, and I assume there's probably some parallels on the insert cards. So you're going to see a ton of that sort of stuff. And then you've got a lot of autos that are mixed in, though, that are just going to be kind of like, oh, I got, XYZ autograph, that nobody is really going to care about that much. And so just looking at the numbers, I take issue with the price tag of this. And I know that maybe Topps or the manufacturers might be like, oh, this is unfair criticism. We're putting out a good product and all that stuff. But that's where I guess I just disagree. I think that maybe if you have kind of the full licenses, maybe you can pull off something like this. Once you've got a product that's a little bit more meaty, as far as what can be in it. But this is a really limited product. There's not a whole lot of meat on the bone, again, outside of that Wemby and LeBron chase stuff. And again, the cards just don't look great. If you were coming up with some sort of innovative card design and these cards just looked fantastic, then that would be one thing. There's some uniqueness to the set. You've really kind of switched things up, and there's some really cool stuff. And again, maybe the inserts, there's 17 different inserts. I haven't been able to see what they look like. Maybe there's incredible inserts in this set, but I don't know. I'm just looking at what I'm seeing, the kind of the preview pictures, and nothing really blows you away here whatsoever. And on the baseball side, of course, you had the 2024 baseball card release. I found a channel here that broke down some of the numbers. Check this channel out, KCards. I'll put a link in my video description. KCards is just the letter K, cards. And he breaks down 2023 hobby boxes, the pricing for baseball cards versus 2024. And basically what it came out with is 2023 hobby boxes were $175 pre-order price. 2024, $220 price tag. So that's a $45 increase. So about 25% increase in price. So you're talking between $1.82 per card up to $2.29 per card. And as these prices go up, the print runs aren't coming down. So, you're looking at $2.50, $3 a card. And again, these base cards that you might get, they're worth like a penny. They're literally worthless. Nobody is going to give you anything for these. They are, throw them in the fireplace. I mean, you're not getting anything back. So the idea that, $2.50, $3 a card, if that's going to continue to move up, I think it was like $7 a pack last year versus $9 a pack. That stuff, man, it's really starting to move up. And we've always been questioning the value. What sort of value are you getting back? Because if you're a mom, dad out there and you're looking, your kid's 10, 12, 13, 17, whatever, however old they are, mom, dad, I want to get into cards and I'm trying to understand it. I've always been the guy preaching the singles market, because when I look at the new product offerings and I'm just looking at the price tag continuing to move up on this stuff, I made a video going back a couple weeks now, has Topps finally priced out its customer? And I know, Ruben, the mics will get on and I know they've got a lot of energy. I'm not debating whether or not they're doing a lot of good marketing stuff and they got redemptions down tremendously. There's certainly some really good operational things that they're getting right. But the price tag on this stuff versus the value coming back to the collector, I just don't see how it makes a whole lot of sense. The only reason it does make sense for them to do this is, again, when it goes from Fanatics Topps to Fanatics Live to then get broken, for all the people that want to get in on breaks and do the whole fun break chase thing. But, I don't think that it's crazy to say that if the average person spending $300 on a hobby box, I don't have the numbers, but I would assume, I don't think it's exaggerating at all, that 90% of the boxes that are opened at $300, tax tag title out the door for their box, for their hobby box, 90% lose money on that box. And I know some people will come back and say like, yeah, but that's the whole thing is that everyone knows that and everyone is going to lose money. They know that. Do they know that first? Number one, do they definitely know that? Number one. And number two, are they coming back for more? Is that a repeat customer? Is that someone that's going to come back and keep on doing that? And if they do, how many times they're going to be doing it? And if they are, what's motivating them to keep on coming back to lose money? Is it because there's, that big LeBron gold refractor that's 1 out of 100,000 packs? I mean, may as well go get your scratch-off tickets at that point. You probably have better odds maybe. And some will say like, oh, but at least you have cards to show for it. But again, I just went back. I just said those base cards, that base insert card that you get, no, that's like it's a penny card. You wouldn't even sell that to COMC. We're talking about COMC here. Cards that make the most sense to go to COMC are at least worth $1 and up because you've got the insertion fee and all that sort of thing. You won't even get $1 for a lot of these cards. So the fact that you're paying $2.50, $3 a card, woof. We're just in a different world. It's the reason why I don't get into new product. I do understand the chase and the excitement. If you've got kind of a fun draft class, I think you could maybe debate too on the draft classes. Are they strong here? Outside of Wembanyama, it's a steep fall. Some might say, yeah, but there could be a Giannis in this draft class. It just hasn't shown himself yet. 5, 6, 7 years, it'll be worth money. Sure, absolutely, I guess that could be the case. But we've seen historically that sports cards, especially on new players, as kind of the careers go, it's a steady fall. And sometimes it's a fall right off a cliff, depending on what the player does. But that's just kind of the name of the game. You've got to remember that the manufacturers, they're just here to move SKUs, and everybody that they have working for them that are selling new products and pushing the new products, it's their job to get excited about the new SKU, the newest thing that is coming out. But I don't think it's a bad thing for us to push back and try to get some more value, either lower print runs, lower prices, figure out a way to get more value back to the collector. Because right now what we've got, it looks like, is just uninformed new customers. We need new collectors to come in, but if they're buying the hell out of this, it seems to me that they're just more uninformed than anything else. But I don't know. Let me know. You guys let me know in the comments below. Is this good value? Was this a good price point? $270. And this isn't secondary market pricing. It'll be higher. It will literally be higher in the secondary market. People bought the pre-sale at $270. I'm sure we'll probably see these at $300, $350, $400 a box possibly. We'll see. We'll see how this plays out coming here over the next few weeks. I believe it releases at the end of August. That was just a pre-order. So what, in the next few weeks, we'll see it fly. We'll see it come to fruition. People will be opening it. And we'll go from there, my friends. But I think the big thing is just in a time, especially with the weird, I've been talking about the weird economic times for the last few years, but now it looks like it's kind of really, it's bubbling up. It's bubbling to the surface where people starting to watch their money a little bit more, or I think should be, we all should be, myself included. And I don't think it's a bad idea to just talk about these things. It's okay to be excited about new products, but it's also okay to know what you're getting into before you dive into that break or buy into that hobby box or whatever it is. All right, friends, stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.